Hi and welcome to Walrus's Cookery Kitchen. Today I'm joined by my good friend, nutritional expert Zach Miller.
Hi.
Now today we're going to be making nice and spicy sauce. Is there anything you have to say about nice and spicy sauce?
It's good for you.
Exactly, and that's expert advice. To make nice and spicy sauce, we'll be using dried parsley, ground turmeric, cumin, dried coriander, mint. We'll be using oregano and ground black pepper. Never enough of that in stuff. Okay, our extra ingredients will be plain flour, and we'll also be using our milk to make a nice white sauce base for it. And our special ingredient today is oyster and spring onion sauce.
What delicious stuff that is.
Exactly. Really love that stuff. Now, I think what we're going to do first is we're going to mix up a white sauce. So I'll let you pour a little bit of milk in there, Zach.
I do love pouring things.
Not too little, not too much. That's the secret to this. Okay, so we've got a nice amount of milk in there. Okay, now we're just going to pour random amounts of flour into there. That's really nice.
We get our big spoon and give it a nice big stir. Really get it deep in there.
Exactly. Now, if you may note, as you may notice, the flour takes a while to absorb into the milk and is becoming a rather thick and crusty paste. Now, it shouldn't really do this, so we probably need a little bit more milk, please, Zach. Okay,
Yep.
Just stir in that there. Isn't that delicious? Now, that is a nice amount of milk. Look at that.
If you ever find you need more milk, don't be afraid to put more milk in.
Exactly. It's milk. What are you going to be afraid of, Zach?
All that deadly, deadly cyanide.
Indeed. Now, most farmers might not put cyanide in milk, but some farmers put cyanide in milk, and that's how the Tory party was formed. Now, I think our first ingredient is ground turmeric, isn't it?
I believe it is.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open her up off screen. There we go. Open her up. We're going to pour a load of ground turmeric in there.
Nice dollop.
Now,
And then you mix it in.
the ground turmeric is beautiful because not only does it add a nice hinty flavour to it, it also makes it a beautiful colour.
I mean, look at that.
That is an amazing colour. Now, the next ingredient is dried parsley. Now, a lot of you may be afraid to use parsley, but you shouldn't be afraid to use parsley because...
It's not going to bite you.
Exactly. And what is the number one secret to parsley?
Not being bitten.
Exactly. You see, as long as you don't get bitten by the parsley, you're A-OK. And usually when you got your parsley and it's in a nice glass jar like this, it's usually dead. Unfortunately, if you're looking for live parsley in the field, it can be pretty deadly, so be sure to wear gardening gloves.
And nice thick combat boots.
Right. Next thing we're going to add in our oregano, which is beautiful. And we're just going to add that in there. Look at how beautifully spicy it's becoming. Look at that.
All the little speckles of delicious little flavours that are coming up right there.
Exactly. And that is making perfect room for our ground black pepper. Now what we do is we just add a subtle hint of ground black pepper in there. Little bit of ground black pepper.
Make sure you cover it nicely. It's got to sink to the bottom, otherwise it can't really start to kick in.
Exactly. And if you've ever watched Dr. No, you'll understand exactly why it needs to sink to the bottom. Now, next thing we're going to work with is a little bit of coriander. So what we're going to do is we're going to open that up. There we go. Got a little bit too much black pepper in my nose. Feel like I'm going to sneeze. But, you know.
I would, you know, when you're making this at home, I advise wearing a gas mask so you don't sneeze. Rivers is not a good addition to this nice and spicy sauce.
And that is expert advice. Finally, it's time to add our cumin. We've been waiting to add the cumin since the start.
Yes.
We don't add the mint yet. That stays in the background. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of cumin here. Come on, you.
It's a bit shy, so you gotta tease it out.
Exactly. You've got to lure it out with promises of love and affection. That's what those tapping things were, they're promises. That's how you get your kids through college. Okay, so what we got now is we got our oyster and spring onion sauce. what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the packaging. Okay, just opening the packaging there. As you can see, I've made a little rip. This stuff's usually quite thick and it sort of spills out. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Now that is beautiful.
It's like an oil painting.
Exactly. Now it's going to thicken up nice and steady there. It's become a nice thick paste.
Can you smell that?
Most people, having looked at this for the first time, would mistake it for mustard. But it's not. It's nice and spicy. It's delicious. Now, making sure it doesn't slop out too much, I'm going to add my mint in at the last. Now you want quite a nice amount of mint in there because everyone likes mint. You can't really go wrong with it.
Certainly can't. It's definitely what I would claim is the nice part of this sauce.
Right. Now, we may notice that it's thickened up a little bit too much, so we're just going to add a little bit more milk. Because you want your nice and spicy sauce to be a little bit runny. Now that is nice. Awesome. Just stir it around a little bit more. That's beautiful, Zach. Absolutely perfect. You can see why, with this stirring motion, he is a nutritional expert.
Oh yes. You don't get far in the nutritional expert field without being able to stir a few sauces.
Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take this spoon and we're going to throw it in the sink there. Just get all that nice spicy sauce off there. And we're going to grab a spoon each. And nutritional expert Zach Miller, could you grab the bowl, please? And I'm going to track it slowly as you take it with you. Okay.
Are we following it?
Yep, we're just taking it up into the sky, and there we go.
Give it a nice sniff.
Oh, let's smell it. Let's give it a smell. Right. Oh, it's really nice. It actually smells a lot like herbal soup, which in essence it actually
most
is.
certainly good for you, that.
Yeah. So shall we take a spoonful of nice and spicy sauce, and this should be interesting.
You really taste all those flavours exploding in my mouth.
Now, the initial taste is actually quite nice, but the aftermath is kind of foul. I think that's the oregano repeating.
Oregano, it's not like being left behind.
I don't think we should eat much more of this because it's actually quite toxic.
Only intoxic in a good kind of way. You don't want to fill yourself with too much goodness.
It's definitely toxic, nutritional expert Zach Miller. But what have you got to say about it?
I've got to say, it's nice, it's spicy, and it's good for you.
Exactly. Now you can have this with anything. You can have it with tea, you can have it with coffee granules, you can have it with a little bit of cheese, but most importantly, as long as you have it, you've got to have fun. And that is the most important ingredient. I really don't know how you can eat that, Zach, because it is absolutely bloody foul.
It's fucking lovely.
Okay, have another spoonful. Would you like another spoonful?
No, I've filled up with goodness now.
You're such a bloody liar, but you're a very convincing actor.
Of course I am. That's why I'm a nutritional expert.
Exactly. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this episode of Walrus Cookery Kitchen.
I know, I certainly have.
That is how to make nice and spicy sauce. So, enjoy.
Enjoy it.